Reading a chapter of the Bible for the first time, I'm going to be reading Exodus 13, and it says dedication of the firstborn. So I've never read the Bible at all, so this is kind of my first time. So if you're interested in a different perspective of things, I am Mountainsmith. I'm actually out here in the mountains right now. As you can see, it is just full of clouds. So it's just an absolutely kind of nice and simple and gorgeous day out here. It's a perfect place, I think, actually to read. So getting right into it. So previously, again, I have never read anything. So in Exodus, so far, we had a whole bunch of plagues, and Moses is now leading the Israelites out of Egypt completely. So the Pharaoh, his heart was hardened, he's left him. And then there was all these instructions for Passover, which is a very interesting thing. So let's get right into Exodus 13 here. So then the Lord said to Moses, now we're back here. Moses is constantly talking with the Lord, which I guess is a good thing. But in the previous chapters, it really did seem like Moses was constantly kind of going back and forth and bickering with God if he really wanted to do it or not. So I'm still wondering if there's a full outcome that we see here that Moses really wants to or not. I don't really know. But, all right, dedication of the firstborn. Then the Lord said to Moses, dedicate to me every firstborn among the Israelites. We have a lot of firstborn things because the Lord then took the firstborns of all of Egypt. So that's a little interesting here. So dedicate to me every firstborn among the Israelites. The first offspring to be born of both humans and animals belongs to me. Wow, okay. So Moses said to the people, this is a day to remember forever, the day you left Egypt, the place of your slavery. Today the Lord has brought you out by the power of his mighty hand. Remember, eat no food containing yeast. It seems to be a lot of things about yeast. Apparently that's a sin for some reason. I don't really understand. Leavening of bread is a bad thing. I haven't figured that one out. On this day in early spring, in the month of Abib, A-B-I-B, maybe that means April? I'm going to take a guess there. On this day in early spring, because it is spring, right? So the month of Abib, you have been set free. You must celebrate this event in the month each year after the Lord brings you into the land of the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Hivites, and Jebusites. So actually don't the Israelites, Hebrews, celebrate Passover in April as well, spring? So that must be what it is. Somebody can kind of let me know that. I don't really have a clue. All right, so let's go on here. He swore to your ancestors that he would give you this land, a land flowing with milk and honey. For 7 days, the bread you eat must be made without yeast. Again, 7 days and yeast, whatever that means. Eat bread without yeast during those 7 days. In fact, there must be no yeast bread or any yeast at all found within the borders of your land during this time. Oh, wow, that's kind of specific. So here's a thought. Does that actually still happen today? Is Passover still requiring no yeast at all during any of this time? I'm very curious on that. On the 7th day, you must explain to your children, I am celebrating what the Lord did for me when I left Egypt. This annual festival will be a visible sign to you, like a mark branded on your hand or your forehead. Let it remind you always to recite this teaching of the Lord. With a strong hand, the Lord rescued you from Egypt. So observe the decree of this festival at the appointed time each year. So this is definitely going back to Passover. So it definitely has to be with April. I'm assuming that has to be what it is. This is what you must do when the Lord fulfills the promise he swore to you and your ancestors. When he gives you the land where the Canaanites now live, you must present all firstborns and firstborn male animals to the Lord, for they belong to him. A firstborn donkey may be brought back from the Lord by presenting a lamb or young goat in its place. These are more instructions, a lot of instructions here. But if you do not buy it back, it's a buy. You have to buy it. You must break its neck. However, you must buy back every firstborn son. Wait. But if you do not buy it back, you must break its neck. I would like to know the reason for that. So if you don't buy the donkey bait, you just break its neck? I mean, what? I don't really know what to think about that, but okay. I hope you guys are killing your animals or something. I don't know. And in the future, your children will ask you, what does the psalm mean? Oh, that's what I'm asking right now. Then you will tell them, with the power of his mighty hand, the Lord brought us out of Egypt, the place of our slavery. Pharaoh stubbornly refused to let us go, so the Lord killed all the firstborn males throughout the land of Egypt, both people and animals. That's what I was saying before. That is why I now sacrifice all the firstborn males to the Lord, except that the firstborn sons are always brought back. This ceremony will be like a mark branded on your hand or your forehead. It is a reminder that the power of the Lord's mighty hand brought us out of Egypt. Okay, but wait. So I guess the ceremony, that is why I now sacrifice all the firstborn males to the Lord, except that the firstborn sons are always brought back. I don't understand that. That seems a little confusing to me. So wait, we're sacrificing the firstborns, but also the firstborn sons are brought back as a ceremony? There's definitely something there. I'm totally misunderstanding. No idea. Anyways, I'm going to move on here. It seems like it's a lot of instructions about Passover still, continuing that. So, Israel's wilderness tour. Detour. Ugh. It sounds like Moses when he said previously that he's all like kind of tongue-tied and kind of confused. That's what I feel like. All right, Israel's wilderness tour. When Pharaoh finally let the people go, God did not lead them along the main road that runs through Philistine territory, even though that was the shortest route to the promised land. God said, if the people are faced with a battle, they might change their minds and return to Egypt. So God led them in a roundabout way through the wilderness towards the Red Sea. Thus, the Israelites left Egypt like an army ready for battle. Okay? I could just see this now. So before, they also asked for like a whole bunch of gold and silver for whatever reason that was. And then they're taking their livestock, and these are all slaves though. So I guess, they're not an army, but they look like an army. I guess that's really what's going on here. And I'm trying to imagine, like, if you put yourself in that position there, you've been a slave, you've been with everybody. Now you have your opportunity to go and walk, and you're all together, and this just looks like this army of people just leaving, which is kind of interesting. Moses took the bones of Joseph with him, for Joseph had made the sons of Israel swear to do this. He said, God will certainly come to help you. When he does, you must take my bones with you from this palace. That, am I right? That was the very end of Genesis. Right? Am I right? Let me go back. The death of Joseph. So Joseph and his brothers and his families continued to live in Egypt. Joseph lived to the age of 110. He lived, where does he say? Soon I will die, Joseph told his brothers. But God will surely come to help you and lead you out of this land of Egypt. He will bring you back to the land he so solemnly promised to give Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. Then Joseph made the sons of Israel swear an oath, and he said, when God comes to help you and lead you back, you must take my bones with you. So Joseph died at the age of 110. The Egyptians embalmed him, and his body was placed in a coffin in Egypt. So now Moses took the bones of Joseph with him. Moses took Joseph's bones with him. Okay. He said, God will certainly come to help you. When he does, you must take my bones with you from this place. That's a very, very specific thing that I was actually curious about at the very end of Genesis, how that's going to happen and what's actually going to happen there, because the Egyptians embalmed, Joseph. So to me, that's almost like a sign of war if you take, somebody that was of high value in Egypt. So that's what Moses is doing. I wonder if that's going to lead to something else later. I don't know. The Israelites left Succoth, I don't know how to say that place, and camped at Ethman on the edge of the wilderness. The Lord went ahead of them. He guided them during the day with a pillar of cloud, and he provided light at night with a pillar of fire. This allowed them to travel by day or by night, and the Lord did not remove the pillar of cloud or pillar of fire from its place in front of the people. Okay. So the people of Israel then, they have this guiding cloud and guiding light, I guess, is the best way to put it. That's what it seems like. And that is the end of Exodus 13.